This is all of the style advice that I wish I could tell my younger self. My style has gone through so many different phases, as I'm sure yours has too. I always find it so funny when I look back at an outfit that I thought was like amazing. And in my head now, I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Despite the entertainment of it all, there are definitely some things I wish I could tell my younger self that would have benefited my future style and that would have put me on a better track to a more confident and more fulfilling wardrobe. Now, before we get into it, do me a favor and leave a comment down below. What is one piece of style advice you wish you could tell your younger self? Like, was there something that you wore all the time that you look back now and you're like, eek? Or was there a certain trend you were following? Like, what is one thing that just makes you cringe? I would love to hear about it and share the mutual embarrassment. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I wish I could tell my younger self is to stop blindly following trends. Now, this one is huge and kind of why I'm putting it first. In this present moment, I consider myself someone who prioritizes responsible shopping and slow fashion, but I can tell you right now that this has not always been the case. Especially as a teenager, when I was kind of first discovering my interest in fashion, it was all about super trendy, super niche items. It took me quite a while to learn the impact of being such a trend-centric shopper, not only when it comes to the impact of my wallet, but obviously to the planet, its people, the environment, and everything else as a whole. Now, being such a trend-centric shopper was definitely the result of being on social media like 24/7. This was especially true when I was in college and influencers were kind of starting to become a big thing, and then the impressionable nature of shopping and following trends and everything like that just flew at me and I bought into it. So what I actually had to do was train my brain to recognize pieces that had longevity, and a huge factor in this was actually a capsule wardrobe. It took a lot of rewiring, but I'm so happy that I curbed the addiction I had to trends because I feel like I'm in a really good place right now in my closet, and I'm very, very proud of it. And while I still believe in having really fun, versatile pieces in my wardrobe, I also understand that for me, in order to have a 100% reliable wardrobe, I need to stick with those versatile core pieces. So the next piece of style advice I wish I could tell my younger self is to invest in quality over quantity. So the problem with me when I was younger is that when I thought of the word quality, I automatically associated it with super expensive or super pricey. And this is definitely the case sometimes. Like, there is no denying that, especially 10 to 15 years ago or so, when there was not nearly as many high quality, affordable options that we have now. But I wish my younger self knew this, because I truly believe that if I just put in a little bit more time into research on brands that would have given me some longer lasting items, some higher quality items, even if it meant I had to stretch my dollar a little bit, I think it would have been worth it in the long run. But it's also hard to tell that to somebody who's like working in retail and making like $10 an hour. Like, stretching your dollar can be a little bit tough when you're young, obviously. So I don't fault myself for choosing quantity over quality. It's just something that would have benefited me in the long run if I did choose quality. Now, I want to be real with you guys about my current budget when I talk about this. In this moment, I am not out here spending like an arm and a leg on high quality items. So obviously my budget has changed quite a bit from when I was younger, but I still prioritize reasonable prices. So some of my favorite brands to buy those high quality items are brands like Everlane, Quince, of course, Banana Republic, especially the Banana Republic factory, like, it is great. J. Crew is like amazing. I never realized how amazing J. Crew is, but like, wow. So these are all brands that I would recommend to you that you like don't have to give up your firstborn to shop. It's fine. So learning how to prioritize quality over quantity over the past few years or so has resulted in a very stable wardrobe for myself. My closet is not overflowing with super low quality pieces. Rather, it's made up of really strong foundational pieces that I know are going to have a long lifespan. The third piece of style advice I wish I could tell my younger self is that a capsule wardrobe does not have to be boring. So the last 2 points were definitely talking a little bit more about my late teen self, like we're talking 10-ish years ago. But this point, I wish I could have told myself like 3 or 4 years ago. I talk about this a lot more in depth in my video that's all about my biggest capsule wardrobe regrets. But I sincerely wish that when I was building my capsule wardrobe, I didn't adopt the mindset that I was like no longer allowed to have expressive pieces. Like, huge mistake on my end. Now, I want to make it clear that a capsule wardrobe is hands down one of the best things I've ever done for my style. It's allowed me to really center my wardrobe and also build a very strong foundation for my style. But in the past year or two, I've just felt really bland with it. Like, I feel like I'm lacking personality, I'm lacking life, and I realize it's because I was lacking fun pieces in there. Like, I didn't have anything with a lot of color or a lot of fun prints or patterns or like unique silhouettes or anything like that. So basically, since I started my channel, I have been working on intentionally adding more expressive pieces to my wardrobe. And honestly, I've also been working on retraining my brain to understand that expressive pieces don't need to be intimidating, and rather they can be something that upgrades my style and makes it just more interesting and more fun to look at. So if you feel this way too, I completely understand, and I recommend watching my capsule wardrobe regrets video just to see if you can relate to anything. And of course, I provide some solutions in that video if you are also feeling a little bit blah about your neutral minimalistic style. The next thing that I wish I could tell myself is that shopping is not a form of entertainment. When I was younger, I used to treat shopping like it was a hobby of mine. I was basically checking out all my favorite brands all of the time for new items. I was always trying to scour for new brands to check out and figure out like what can I add to my wardrobe just to make sure that I'm on top of things. This was especially true when I was on Instagram a few years ago and I would discover a new brand and I would just be like, let me see what they have. And it was like none of the things I was looking for I needed at all. Like, I was just trying to, again, stay on top of things. So basically, I wish I could tell my younger self to find a real hobby, pick up a book maybe. Now when I'm shopping, it is with intention above all else. I find that I have a specific desire for something. I make sure that it is going to be able to serve multiple roles in my wardrobe. It's something I've put thought into. It's something that I've researched. It's not just like a random item I saw one time and decided to buy without any additional thought. Now, this isn't to say that I don't ever have like the itch to go shopping. It's very normal, happens to all of us. But when I do feel that way, I am headed right to the thrift store. It scratches that itch to find something new, something unique. It also is a more sustainable way to shop and doesn't hurt my wallet. And the last thing I wish I could tell my younger self is that it's possible to be stylish while also being ultra comfortable. So when I was a teenager, wearing things like sweatpants, leggings at the time, yoga pants, sweatshirts, things like that, wearing them outside of the house, not an option. I genuinely didn't feel like there was any way for me to look remotely put together when wearing these items. And the reason I think that this is a mistake is just because I feel like I've missed out on so many days where I maybe didn't want to wear jeans, or I didn't want to wear like an uncomfy dress or something like that. So I do thank the rise of athleisure for getting me out of this headspace. We've seen such a huge rise in it over the years, and it's going to continue to rise because I think people are just continuously prioritizing their comfort above all else. And I'm so happy that I've finally figured out a way to wear sweatpants and leggings and things like that in a way that make me feel comfortable and confident and honestly stylish. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know how important it is for me to be comfortable. Like, if I am not comfortable, I am miserable, period. So I've built my wardrobe to make sure that there are no pieces in it that I'm going to feel uncomfortable in. But with that, there are still some days that I want to be like ultra extra comfy. So that's when I'll break out the leggings, I'll break out the bike shorts, I'll break out the sweatshirt or the sweatpants, and I will style them in a way that I feel really confident going out the door and I can still be comfy. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. Let me know in the comments if you relate to any of these. Like, I would love to share the struggle together. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am so appreciative of your support, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.